How's everybody doing? Quick update video on this thing. I ain't made any videos of it in a while. Been having problems with that thing. It doesn't want to start cold. Then it doesn't want to start hot. Doesn't want to start warmed up at all once it heat soaks the pump head. But if you start it up cold and then shut it off and start it right back up, you're good to go. But so mostly I start this thing in the morning with like a half a can of starting fluid, and then I just let it run all freaking day and it doesn't ever shut off, which is a problem, mainly because gas prices right now not so good, fuel prices. It's not that big a deal because I run it off of used motor oil, like pretty much straight up used motor oil, transmission fluid, vegetable oil, anything I can dump in that tank. Sometimes even diesel fuel if I'm feeling just spicy. I was low the other day and I put some diesel fuel in it. When I was getting fuel for work, I put like 8 gallons in it, and it thinned out the oil because it's just used to running off used oil and it's all wore out. It thinned out the oil to the point where couldn't get it up above 40 mile an hour, didn't have the oomph to pump it anymore, just wasn't giving it none. And it was low on power. And then I've been having problems with the governor where you let off the throttle if you're wide open for like 3 or 4 minutes straight. Like, cause I mean, I hauled tons of metal on the back of this thing, like a whole bunch of metal onto this poor thing every day. And going down the highway, going up hills and stuff, there's times when it's on the floor all the time, wide open throttle, trying to just keep up with traffic and not get people angry at me for going slow. And it's getting to a point where if you hold it on the floor for too long, you let off the throttle and it keeps accelerating like quite a bit, and you can even shut the fuel off to the pump and it keeps accelerating. I'm like, oh, something's getting weird. And the governor's going bad in the pump, so it's giving it full fuel and then not telling it to quit until it actually runs out of fuel and the engine slows down. So pretty much when you're going down the highway and you want to slow down, you got to just grab the fuel valve on the floor and shut the fuel off to it before you need to start slowing down. Let it run out of fuel, let it slow down a little bit, and then whatever's sticking unsticks, and then you can turn the fuel back on and it'll be normal for a little bit. But yeah, if you just whack the throttle on it, it don't know what a throttle whack is. It's like, oh, you want wide open? We're just gonna go wide open right now forever. Yeah, so it's getting pretty bad. So I got this one at my uncle's house in Tennessee, and I know nothing about these diesel injection pumps. So the very first thing I did is I took it all the way apart, like everything out of it. I had a whole table full of crap out of this stupid thing. I didn't know there was that much stuff in there. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I read a few manuals and stuff on it and looked at a few pictures, and just didn't really, it's easier for me to just take it apart and put it back together and learn about it. So I did that and cleaned everything. It was super dirty. It didn't look great, but it's probably much better than that. So we're gonna stick that on there and see how good I am at building injector pumps. I should have got the kit for it while I had it all the way apart. It's only like 45 bucks. But anyway, I took it all apart and put it all back together again, only clean. And we're gonna stick it on here and we're gonna see if I can get just a few more miles out of this thing. But yeah, one thing I'm noticing is it's running off its own oil now, because all these breather tubes, especially this thing, there's just oil coming out of all these. The intake had a bunch of oil sitting in it, and every one of these ports is just so clean. Just so much stuff built up on the inside of them ports. Like, we're not gonna even touch any of that stuff. We're gonna leave it alone, and we're gonna put that pump on it, and we're gonna put it all back together, and I ain't even gonna bother cleaning the gaskets or anything, or I'm just gonna put it back together and we're gonna run it, and it'll be fine. It's loyal, it likes it. It needs that dirt to help, scrape all the carbon off and build compression. So fuck it. We're gonna put this thing back together, and it's literally leaking oil from every orifice, and it's so damn wore out. Like, wow, this thing's just trash. Like, blow by, yeah, it's got blow by like you would not even believe. Like, so it's just on its last leg, and I'm gonna change the oil in it. We're gonna change the oil in it, and we're gonna just keep running. One of these days it's just gonna run away, and it's gonna get me to the junkyard really fast or something. I don't know, but I got a spare for it. I got 2 spare 6.2s for it now. There's one back there you can't see. That's the red block, X casting block or something. I guess it's like, everybody says that's the good one. I don't know. This one's one of the industrial ones, non-EGR, heavy duty application, blah, blah, blah. It makes 165 horsepower instead of 130. Woohoo! I don't even think this thing makes 80. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna put it back together and see what happens. I don't know, this thing's a pile of crap. Worst comes to worst, I can throw that in there in, you know, like a day. So I need to get this done so I can clean my garage. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but the APU, just took that APU engine off of this thing. So the less this thing weighs, the more crap I can haul on the back of it. We don't use that anymore. It's addicted to starting fluid, so we don't need to worry about preheating things anymore. We're just gonna, you know, use a bunch of ether on it. Take her easy, see you in the next one.